The first boss of Super Metroid is Riley. You know, this doesn't count as a fight, it is. You don't even have to beat this, that's why it's not even countable. So yes, technically you could just let yourself get beat and still win. But if you want to do it the hard way, or the fun way, you can actually beat him. Well, beat him to the point where he drops the Metroid tank and then has to pick it back up. Stupid shots, they don't look like they're showing. Also, this is going to go into 3 parts. And yes, I usually suck at this part. I usually suck at most bosses, because I like to try to make it more fun, instead of actually figuring out how to do it without getting your ass kicked. So pretty much keep going, and Riley gets redder and redder and redder. Blah. I have nothing to say for this. Just keep dodging his fire, which is the easiest thing to dodge. And he drops the Metroid tank. Yep, and that's it. And then you escape, but that doesn't matter. On to boss 2. The first actual boss, after you get the bomb power-up. This is the first fight with the Chozo statue. You fight a second one later, which is a lot harder than this one. This one is easy compared to it. It reminds me of some kind of bug. Pretty much its weak point is its chest. You know it is not a giant enemy crab, even though it is on its tummy. Yes, usually when you try to roll under it, will jump backwards and shoot a bunch of little eggs. Or whatever you want to call them. But either way, they drop missiles. And yes, it's a very easy boss. Nothing else to say. Boss number 3 is the Spore Spawn. And I do not like this. Why? Because it takes forever to just drop. Because you can't hit it until it wants you to. It also reminds me of the creature from The Little Shop of Horrors. If anyone ever seen that movie, they know what I'm talking about. Feed me! Ugh. So pretty much, I failed right there, but that's what you're supposed to do the entire fight. Wait for him to open up his mouth, shoot him with a missile. I think if you roll here, I don't think you can be hit by anything. But yes, the Spore Spawn does take a while to die. You know it's not hard. Kind of creepy looking. Just look at it. It wants you in its belly. Random note, green doors cannot be opened unless you have a heavy missile. But why would I even say that in the boss video? I think you get the heavy missiles after beating him, actually. I forgot what I got. So pretty much, this is just one really long, boring fight. Not even narration would make this interesting. Save yourself, fool. Leave now. Technically, I think it dies in about 3 more hits. Unless you fail. Oh yes, and he does get faster. I forgot about that. Oh yes, and this was requested by Catherine. Wow, I forgot to say that. Sorry. Okay. She never played a Metroid game in her life. Well, I think she did, but it was Metroid Prime. And I feel sorry for her. Even though Metroid Prime was a good game, it wasn't as good as Super Metroid, which easily ranks up as one of the best Super Nintendo games ever. I think it was actually number 2 on my list. For yes, I did a top 10 Super NES game list, and I think Super Metroid's number 2. You know, I technically say it ties with number 1. Because this game kicks ass. If you haven't played it, you should go bury yourself in a hole and die. I mean, you should go play it. Go find yourself a copy, or emulate it if you want to be illegal. Of course, nowadays it doesn't matter. Just find a way to play it. Boss 4 is Crad, which is one of the most famous bosses in the Metroid series. Next to Riley. And for people who watch the I Want to Be the Guy run, remember Crad GIF? Zangief? Yeah, this is the fight. I heard there's a way you could glitch him, just like you could glitch him and I Want to Be the Guy, but I do not know how that is. So pretty much after you shoot him a few times, he will go up. And all you have to do is get him to not fail and shoot a missile in his mouth. Hopefully heavy missiles. And yes, he only takes a few hits, but I really failed right there. 1, 2, 3. That's it. I actually don't remember him being that easy. That was the first time I killed him that fast. This is Boss 5, Crockmire, which also has possibly one of the most horrid deaths of any video game creature. It's depressing. Wait till you see it. So pretty much you just keep shooting his mouth, and he goes backwards. And backwards. And backwards. And backwards. That's the whole fight. Just backwards. Unless you screw up, then he goes forward. And yes, I'd recommend the charge shot. Pretty much, this thing is easier than Crade, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much, boom. This is depressing. Watch this. It looks painful. You think that's horrifying? Wait till you see this. This made me piss my pants as a kid. This is creepy. Wait for it. And no, you do not have to shoot. But look at it. Look at its face. The fact it even got up is creepy. Yeah, let's move on. My most hated boss of the entire game. Fantoon of the Ghost Ship. No, really. I really suck at this boss. And then, yes, you could get hit by those flames when it first starts, so don't do that. This is one of my most hated, if not the worst of the entire game for me. Yes, his fire can be destroyed by your beam. Pretty much the only time you can hurt him is when he wants you to. Like right there. There's only 2 chances you get to hit him. Once when he does that circle thingy, or this. Coming up. You usually get hit trying to hit him. Right there. I have a feeling every time Samus gets hit, she disappears on the screen, huh? And then he does this, which is really easy to avoid. As long as you get the timing right, which I didn't for a little while, but I did eventually. You're going to make sure to have a lot of E-tanks when you get here, because this is annoying as hell. Unless you're a god and you can perfect it. Which I can't. And I'm not going to try. That is one request I would never take because I couldn't do it. Pretty much you just keep repeating this till it dies, and this thing takes forever. Just keep using your heavy missiles and shooting it in the eye. And then it goes poof again! I mean, I see one way you can dodge the fire, but in that case you can't shoot it, so what's the point? Really, I'm looking too much into this. And this was my first run on it in like 2 years. So technically, you can't yell at me much. I was never that great at Super Metroid anyways. Wow, I just admitted it. There's one person who got a perfect on him, if people want to know. Then again, I can't remember the username. Pretty much just keep dodging, 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 unless you want to stand there and get hit and die. That could always work. If you're emotional. Like I said, pretty much make sure you have heavy missiles, and he should drop within a few minutes. Actually, he should drop in 1 more hit. Then again, he has to do this crap. Again. Waste your time. You know why? Because Phantoon is a bitch. An annoying bitch. And he will never change. He's a tentacle ghost. And it's like the two little ball sacks. Look at it! How did I get hit by that? He should have died right. Oh, there we go. And Phantoon is dead. You know what? That's all for part 1. Come back for part 2 where we finish the game. But will it be the final part? Maybe not. See you the next time.